Whilst COVID is the most significant disruption, it's not the first, and it certainly won't be the last major disruption that we've had to deal with.
If you know that your classical business model may be disrupted in the next 3 to 5 years, there is a necessity to transform. It's not an option.
I think that the key thing about getting these people to embrace Industry 4.0 is to actually share with them the benefits of implementing certain solutions.
You need a supply chain that is agile. It needs to be able to change, because post-disruption, new norm, the situation will not be the same. Industry 4.0 and supply chains are just like any other chain. They really are only as strong as the weakest link. And therefore, organizations are currently looking at how do they digitize what we've considered to be manufacturing, what we've considered to be supply chains in the past. We are reinventing the way that production works. We are reinventing where the priorities are.
We hear very often, okay, what's the I4.0 technology I should implement? But the first question should be, what do you want to achieve? Do you want to become more flexible? Do you want to become faster? And that comes very much from the business perspectives and objectives for the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years. It's not enough anymore to put some sensors on a piece of machine. One should start with pilots, but it has to be embedded into a proper strategy which is driven by business KPIs and not by technology discussion.
Back in, I think, February, we have 2 requests urgently from the World Ventilator Foundation. They have a request for emergency ventilator, and they need to develop it fast. In the past, to do a ventilator is a class 3 device. It will take about 3 years to do, and now you want to do it in 3 months. But because of the technology, the 4.0, you are able to record it in your R&D side on a history base, whatever you develop. And also, of course, because during the pandemics, so you don't need to go through all the steps of clinical trial. All this Factory 4.0, all this setup do help to speed up the development of an emergency ventilator.
Identify maybe 1 or 2 areas in your current operations where you are not satisfied with. Go with a small POC and test this technology, see if it brings any value, the improvements in the area. Eventually start off with a small pilot as well, and eventually extend to a full-scale deployment. The customers are all looking at the suppliers and how resilient they are. So they are not just looking at cost. They want to know what kind of technologies you have in place in your business, in your operations. Convince your customer that you have the platform, the infrastructure in place, so that you can actually survive the next pandemic, the next crisis.